Welcome to this module of Greenville County Budget Basics, Understanding Your Local Taxes. Greenville County delivers many essential services that impact our daily lives, keeping us safe, maintaining infrastructure, providing clean water and sewer services, and supporting community spaces like libraries and parks. These services significantly contribute to our quality of life and have a big impact on how we feel about the place we call home. State law outlines how the county can fund these services. So let's take a look at how that works. The state gives counties the authority to collect taxes on real property, think houses, commercial buildings, farmland, and personal property, think cars and boats. There are 4 parts to calculating your property tax. First is the taxable market value. Every 5 years or whenever a property is sold or significantly upgraded, the county tax assessor assesses the fair market value of a home or property. By state law, the property value used for taxes cannot go up more than 15% from the previous assessment. However, if you buy a property or make significant modifications to the property, the 15% cap does not apply. This adjusted fair market value is referred to as the taxable market value. Then there's the assessment ratio. This is a ratio that is specified in the state constitution and based on property type and usage. For example, owner-occupied homes have a ratio of 4%, while commercial properties have a ratio of 6%, and manufacturing facilities a ratio of 10.5%. Then we have assessed value. That's multiplying your taxable market value by the assessment ratio, and that gives you your assessed value. And millage rate. Millage rate is a rate set during the county budget process and represents your tax rate. 1 mill equals $1 per 1,000 of assessed value. So putting it all together, taxable market value times assessment ratio times millage rate equal your taxes due. Let's see an example. Recognize this? It's your property tax bill, and here is how to read it. You will see the assessed tax value of the property, the ratio, the millage rate, and taxes due. In addition, you will see how your tax dollars are spent. Wondering why you see both a school tax and a school tax credit on your bill? Well, in 2006, South Carolina Act 388 added a 1-cent statewide sales tax to fund operations of public schools. In exchange, homeowners received a credit on their property tax bill for school taxes related to school operational expenses. But only homeowners received this credit. After this credit, you'll see a small portion of school taxes on your tax bill, and that portion is related to local school debt service. You can learn more all about the funding and budgets for Greenville County schools in another Budget Basics module that's focused on our schools. Okay, it's time for a little property tax myth busting. First, the myth: the county can collect more money and raise my taxes at any time simply by reassessing. The truth: real property values can only be assessed every 5 years as part of a county-wide assessment, or whenever a property is upgraded or sold. And by law, countywide reassessments must be revenue neutral, so the county's total income does not go up. On the other hand, personal property is reassessed every year. The myth: homestead exemption means that if I own my own home, I do not pay property tax. The truth: the homestead exemption reduces taxes on the first $50,000 of taxable value, but only for homeowners who are over 65, legally blind, or permanently disabled, and you have to apply. The myth: renters do not pay property taxes, so they should not have a say in the county budget. The truth: renters do pay property taxes, indirectly through their rent. Rental properties have higher assessment ratios, that's 6% versus 4%, and they also don't get the school tax credits that homeowners do. So in most cases, renters actually pay more through their rent in property-related taxes than homeowners do for a living space of equivalent value. Property taxes are important. They are not the whole story. The county also raises money through service fees, including for services like building permits, licenses, or reserve and park shelters. They raise money through hospitality tax. Greenville County charges 2% hospitality tax on prepared meals and beverages in its unincorporated areas. And the county collects fees that are paid in lieu of taxes. We'll talk about this more in our next module. A couple of other options Greenville is considering but doesn't presently use. So we do not presently charge impact fees. These are fees that are charged when you get a building permit. Impact fees are used to help fund infrastructure and investments that specifically support growth like new schools, roads, and fire stations. Impact fees are especially used by counties like us that are experiencing high levels of growth. And we also do not presently have a local sales tax. Some counties use local sales taxes to fund infrastructure, roads, or transit. But adding a local sales tax must be approved by the voters in a county-wide referendum. So in addition to the taxes it collects and the fees that it charges, the county also gets a little help from its friends. The state provides funding, including things like getting back a share of the education sales tax to fund our schools, state accommodations tax from hotel and short-term rental stays that was collected in the county. It has to be used to promote tourism, but now we can also use up to 15% of this tax for workforce housing. There's also state gas tax for road improvements within the county and big road projects like I-85, 385 Gateway project. There's also state grants to upgrade equipment or support specific projects. And the federal government also provides funding to the county, including program funding. These are funds that are set aside by Congress for specific programs. For example, the Federal Education Department helps fund students with special needs, English language learners, school meal programs, and after-school programs. And the Federal Transportation Department helps fund transit. The county also receives federal grants, including for things like housing support, rental assistance, eviction prevention, trail expansions, and upgrades to infrastructure. And the county can also receive reimbursements to help with particular events, like FEMA's help funding debris removal after Hurricane Helene struck in 2024. Local and national foundations may also provide grants that help fund community-based projects or programs. So let's recap. The state grants counties the authority to raise money through taxes and fees. In addition to those taxes and fees, Greenville County also receives funding from the state and federal governments, as well as a much smaller amount from local and national foundations. Together, this funding enables the county to deliver the services we depend on and enjoy every day. Thanks for watching this Budget Basics module brought to you by the League of Women Voters of Greenville County. Want to learn more? Join us next time for Understanding the County Budget Structure, where we will break down how the county money is managed and who makes the decisions.